Welcome to the Cenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
All right, let's dive into a topic that I have to admit I'm a little embarrassed to say I haven't given enough thought to before. We're going to be talking about norepinephrine, or some people call it noradrenaline. And it's this incredible chemical messenger that really plays a huge role in how our brains and bodies function.
It's one of those things that you don't really think about until you start to learn about it, and then you realize just how incredibly important it is for so many different things.
Yeah, I've been doing a little reading about it in preparation for our deep dives today, and I'm kind of blown away by how much it influences.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those chemicals that wears many hats. So it's both a neurotransmitter, meaning it's carrying messages in the brain, but it's also a hormone, which means it travels through the bloodstream and acts on different organs throughout the body.
So it's like having a super efficient messenger service running through my system.
That's a great way to think about it, yeah. It's like, if you imagine a network of couriers that are delivering these crucial messages in the brain, and then they hop on the express train, the bloodstream, to reach far-off organs.
Wow, okay. I'm starting to see how powerful this norepinephrine is, but what exactly does it do? Where does it come into play in my daily life?
Well, one of its most well-known roles is in the fight-or-flight response. Do you know that feeling when you encounter a stressful situation kind of out of the blue? Your heart starts to race, your focus narrows, you feel this surge of energy? Well, that's norepinephrine kicking in.
So it's like my body's own personal alarm system and rapid response team all rolled into one.
Exactly, yeah. It evolved to help our ancestors survive in these really high-stakes life or death situations. Like imagine you're walking through the forest and suddenly a saber-toothed tiger jumps out.
Oh, yikes. Okay, I can see where this is going.
Well, in that moment, norepinephrine floods your system. It increases your heart rate to pump blood to your muscles so you can run or fight. It sharpens your senses so you can react really quickly. It even diverts blood away from digestion because, hey, survival takes priority over that sandwich you just ate, right?
Okay, that's a vivid image. But thankfully, I don't run into saber-toothed tigers on my morning commute. So does norepinephrine have any relevance to my modern, relatively safe life?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, while we may not be dodging predators on a daily basis, we still face plenty of stressors, even if they're more psychological than physical these days. Think about that deadline looming at work or that presentation you have to give or even that frustrating traffic jam. All of these can trigger the release of norepinephrine.
So even in my less than wild world, norepinephrine is still helping me deal with stress and challenges.
Exactly. But it's not just about stress response either. Norepinephrine plays a crucial role in a whole bunch of other functions too. It's really remarkable.
I was just about to ask you about that. I've read that it influences mood, motivation, and even memory.
You're right on the money, yeah. So, for example, low levels of norepinephrine are often linked to conditions like ADHD, where people struggle with things like focus and attention. It also plays a role in regulating our sleep-wake cycles and even influences our metabolism and how much energy we expend.
Wow, that's way more than I expected. It seems like norepinephrine is kind of a behind-the-scenes operator, quietly influencing so many aspects of my daily life.
That's a great way to put it. And this is why understanding how norepinephrine works and what can disrupt its balance is so important for our overall well-being.
That makes sense. So let's delve deeper into that. What are some signs that someone might have a norepinephrine imbalance? What happens when things get out of whack?
Well, as we mentioned, low levels can lead to fatigue. You might have a lack of motivation, difficulty concentrating. You might also just feel kind of down or apathetic. And then on the other hand, having too much norepinephrine can manifest as anxiety. You might feel restless, have insomnia, or even high blood pressure.
So it's a delicate balancing act, just like with so many things in our bodies. But before we get into how to maintain that balance, I'm really curious about something we touched upon earlier, norepinephrine's connection to memory. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. Remember how we talked about norepinephrine's role in the fight-or-flight response? Well, it turns out that those moments of heightened alertness and emotional intensity also trigger the release of norepinephrine in the brain, particularly in areas that are involved in memory formation.
So it's like norepinephrine acts as a mental highlighter, making sure those important or emotionally charged memories are etched into our brains.
Exactly. And this makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. Remember those saber-toothed tigers?
Oh yeah, I'm not likely to forget those.
Well, our ancestors who could remember those encounters vividly were much more likely to avoid similar situations in the future and, survive to pass on their genes.
Wow, that's fascinating. So even like my embarrassing moments on stage or that time I got lost in a foreign city, those memories are more vivid thanks to norepinephrine.
Quite possibly, yeah. It's not just about traumatic memories, though. Any experience that evokes strong emotions, whether positive or negative, can trigger this norepinephrine memory link. Think about your most cherished childhood memories, your first love, or even that time you aced a difficult exam. All of those likely involved a surge of norepinephrine, helping to solidify them in your memory.
It's incredible how this seemingly simple chemical messenger is involved in so many complex processes.
Right, and we're just scratching the surface here. Yeah, it's like, it really is amazing how intricate everything's wired and how these chemical messengers really orchestrate so much of what we experience. And speaking of intricate wiring, there's another key player I think we need to talk about, and that's dopamine.
Ah, yes, dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. I feel like I'm hearing about dopamine everywhere I turn these days.
Yeah.
But what's the connection to norepinephrine?
Well, it's more than just a connection. Dopamine is actually a precursor to norepinephrine. In other words, our bodies use dopamine to actually create norepinephrine.
Hold on, so it's like a two-step process. My body makes dopamine, and then it transforms some of that dopamine into norepinephrine.
Exactly. And this relationship has some really interesting implications. For instance, if your dopamine levels are low, that can actually impact your norepinephrine levels as well.
That makes sense. So if I'm understanding this correctly, supporting healthy dopamine production could have a positive ripple effect on my norepinephrine balance too, right?
You got it. It's like, tending to the roots of a tree to ensure that the branches flourish.
I like that analogy. So let's say my norepinephrine levels are a bit out of whack. What are some practical things I can do to bring them back into balance?
Well, there are a lot of natural strategies that you can incorporate into your daily life. We've already touched on the importance of managing stress, and that's huge. Chronic stress can really deplete your norepinephrine reserves and lead to fatigue and burnout.
So finding healthy ways to de-stress, like meditation or spending time in nature, could help prevent that norepinephrine drain.
Absolutely. And on the flip side, engaging in activities that naturally boost norepinephrine can be incredibly beneficial. And we talked about exercise, but I want to emphasize just how powerful exercise is.
Okay, you've got my attention. What is it about exercise that makes it such a norepinephrine powerhouse?
Well, when you engage in physical activity, your body is basically going through a sort of simulated fight or flight response. So your heart rate increases, your muscles are demanding more energy, your brain needs to stay alert, and all of this triggers the release of norepinephrine, and that gives you that feeling of being energized and focused.
So in a way, I'm kind of hacking my own neurochemistry by getting my body moving.
Exactly. And the beauty of exercise is that it also boosts dopamine levels, so you're getting a double dose of benefits for both of those neurotransmitters.
That's a win-win.
Yeah.
Are there specific types of exercise that are particularly effective in boosting norepinephrine?
That's a great question. While any type of exercise is beneficial, high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, and activities that really challenge your cardiovascular system, those tend to produce the biggest norepinephrine surge. So think sprinting, jumping jacks, burpees, that sort of thing.
Okay, challenge accepted. What about activities like yoga or Tai Chi? I've heard those are great for stress reduction, but do they also impact norepinephrine levels?
Yes, absolutely. While they may not produce the same kind of intense norepinephrine spike as you would get from HIIT, these practices can still help to regulate your norepinephrine levels by reducing stress and promoting a sense of calm. Remember, it's all about finding that sweet spot between activation and relaxation.
That makes sense. So it's not just about hitting the gym, it's about finding activities that work for me and that I enjoy.
Precisely. Now, beyond exercise, there are other lifestyle factors that play a role, and sleep is a big one. When we're sleep deprived, our norepinephrine levels tend to dip, and that leads to that, familiar feeling of brain fog and fatigue.
So prioritizing good sleep hygiene is crucial for maintaining healthy norepinephrine levels.
Absolutely. It's not just about getting enough sleep, but also about making sure it's quality sleep.
Okay, so no scrolling through my phone in bed, no matter how tempting it is.
Got it.
What about diet? Does what I eat impact my norepinephrine balance?
Yes, definitely. Remember how we talked about tyrosine being a precursor to norepinephrine?
Right? It's like the raw material our bodies use to build norepinephrine.
Exactly. So, making sure you're getting enough tyrosine in your diet can help support norepinephrine production. Foods rich in tyrosine include things like eggs, fish, poultry, nuts, and seeds.
Okay, I'm adding those to my grocery list. Are there any other dietary tweaks I should keep in mind?
Another key nutrient to focus on is phenylalanine, and that's an essential amino acid that our bodies convert into tyrosine.
So by eating foods rich in phenylalanine, I'm indirectly supporting my norepinephrine levels.
That's the idea. You'll find phenylalanine in foods like dairy products, meats, poultry, soy products, and certain nuts and seeds.
Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. Protein seems to be a recurring theme.
You're catching on quickly. Adequate protein intake is essential for neurotransmitter production in general, not just for norepinephrine.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are there any other nutrients I should be aware of when it comes to norepinephrine balance?
Yes, absolutely. B vitamins are also crucial for neurotransmitter production.
So getting enough B vitamins through my diet or supplements could also support healthy norepinephrine levels.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the importance of minerals like magnesium. Magnesium plays a role in regulating nerve function and stress response, which indirectly impacts norepinephrine balance.
Okay, magnesium's going on the list too. It seems like eating a balanced and nutritious diet is key for keeping my neurochemistry in tip-top shape.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And beyond diet, there are other lifestyle factors that can influence your norepinephrine levels. For instance, spending time in nature has been shown to have a really calming effect on the nervous system, which can help regulate norepinephrine.
I can definitely attest to that. A walk in the park always seems to clear my head. Are there any other activities that can have a similar effect?
Yes. Mindfulness practices like meditation and yoga have also been shown to promote relaxation and reduce stress hormones, including norepinephrine.
So it's about finding activities that help me unwind and de-stress, which in turn can have a positive impact on my norepinephrine balance.
Exactly. It's all about creating a lifestyle that supports both your physical and mental well-being. And that's what's so empowering about all of this. We have so much control over our own brain chemistry, and these simple lifestyle choices can make a profound difference.
Yeah, it really is amazing how much control we have over our own well-being when we understand the intricate workings of our brains and bodies.
Absolutely. And that's what's so exciting about diving deep into these topics, right? It's not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about gaining insights that can empower us to make positive changes.
Exactly. Speaking of insights, I feel like we've covered a lot of ground in our exploration of norepinephrine today. But before we wrap up, I'd love to just kind of crystallize some key takeaways for our listeners. What are some of the most actionable steps people can take to support healthy norepinephrine balance?
That's a great question. I think it's helpful to remember that norepinephrine is influenced by a variety of factors, so a holistic approach is key.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So it's not just about focusing on one thing, but rather looking at the bigger picture of lifestyle choices.
Exactly. And I would say one of the most fundamental pillars is stress management. Chronic stress can really throw your norepinephrine levels out of whack. So finding healthy coping mechanisms is absolutely crucial.
We've touched on some great techniques already, like meditation, spending time in nature, and engaging in relaxing activities. Are there any other strategies you'd recommend?
Absolutely. One that often gets overlooked is the power of social connection. Spending time with loved ones, nurturing meaningful relationships, and even just having a good laugh can do wonders for reducing stress and boosting those feel-good neurotransmitters, including norepinephrine.
That's a great reminder. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own busy lives that we forget the importance of connecting with others. Okay, so stress management is key. What else should our listeners keep in mind?
Well, we've talked extensively about the benefits of exercise, and I can't emphasize enough how impactful it can be for norepinephrine balance. Even just incorporating short bursts of movement into your day can make a difference.
So even if I can't make it to the gym for an hour-long workout, taking the stairs instead of the elevator or going for a brisk walk during my lunch break can still give my norepinephrine levels a boost.
Absolutely. Every little bit counts. And remember, finding activities you enjoy is key to making exercise a sustainable part of your routine.
That makes sense. If I dread working out, it's probably going to end up being another source of stress, which defeats the purpose.
Exactly. Now, in addition to movement, let's not forget about the importance of nourishing our bodies with the right nutrients. We discussed the role of tyrosine and phenylalanine, those building blocks for norepinephrine production.
Right. And those are found in protein-rich foods like eggs, fish, poultry, nuts, and seeds.
Exactly. And let's not forget about those essential B vitamins, particularly B6 and B12, which play a crucial role in neurotransmitter synthesis.
So making sure I'm getting enough B vitamins through my diet or supplements could also contribute to healthy norepinephrine levels.
Absolutely. And finally, I want to reiterate the importance of magnesium, which not only supports norepinephrine balance, but also plays a role in muscle function, sleep quality, and stress regulation. You can find magnesium in leafy green vegetables, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm definitely not going to argue with the suggestion to eat more dark chocolate.
Well, there you have it. By focusing on stress management, incorporating regular exercise, prioritizing quality sleep, and nourishing your body with a balanced and nutrient-rich diet, you can create a foundation for optimal norepinephrine balance and, in turn, enhance your overall well-being.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for norepinephrine and its impact on my daily life. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring this powerful neurochemical with you.
And to our listeners, we hope you found this journey as fascinating as we have. Until next time, keep those norepinephrine levels balanced and embrace the incredible power of your brain.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.